I really don't want to review this. I got tons and tons of videos that I really want to do. I promised. That's fine, I'll get to review it. Arrow Season 4 is the story of Oliver Queen, who is about to retire from the life of vigilantism as he goes out with the fan-favorite turned fan-loathed Felicity Smoke. From what appears to be a relatively happy ending has turned into a relatively not happy ending when Star City is gonna be attacked by a megalomaniac and leader of the organization called Hive, no, not that Hive, by the name of Damien Dark. I fucking wish. Who is gonna literally destroy Star City and rebuild the world from the ground up. Again. For the 4th time. First off, let's talk about the villain Damien Dark. Throughout the course of Arrow, despite having stories that are just not really that good, at least the villains are pretty damn cool. Merlin, Deadshot, Amanda Waller, Cupid, Nissa Al Ghul, Deathstroke, at least before they ruin his entire motivation. And hell, I even really like Ra's al Ghul. He's not that bad. Now, I want you guys to take a look at the comic counterpart of Damien Dark and compare and contrast between him and Neil McDonough. I imagine Damien Dark as some sort of a supervillain Damian Wayne from Batman, or a grown-up Damian Wayne, because he looks so ridiculously young, and they look so ridiculously similar. But now we have Neil McDonough completely butchering the character's appearance and pretty much playing the exact same character that he played in Street Fighter Legend of Chun-Li, with a different palette swap. Is he a good villain? No. Is he a bad villain? Well, here's the problem with Damien Dark. He's completely and totally lost. It's like the writers don't really know what to do with him and just say, hey, this Damien Dark villain is gonna be a methodical and careful planner, but at the same time, he's also a really quirky Saturday morning cartoon villain. Aww. And I swear to God, some of the lines that he made are downright cartoonish. For God's sake, this is a series that starts off with our main hero mass murdering criminals to unveil a dark conspiracy, and now we have Skeletor as the main villain. Come on, guys. I really don't know what's going on with Arrow. I feel that the show is getting crappier and crappier and crappier, but I don't really know what caused the absolute downward spiral of the show. Perhaps it has something to do with the show's disgusting lack of variety. Seriously, whatever Season 4 does right now, Season 4 do them a hell of a lot better. It has better drama, they put all the characters in a higher stake, and just all around a better written story. But then, I figure it out. I want you guys to listen to this because it is marvelous. So, what's the story of Arrow Season 1? A man who is revealed to have been alive after years of being outcast in a mysterious island comes back to his city only to find that his city is riddled with corruption and evilness. To get rid of them, he's gonna put the matters on his own hands as he pursues a quest to save the city once and for all. So what's the story of Season 4? Big Bad Meanie M. Bison wants to take over the world. He is a powerful sorcerer that uses the ancient power of evil. It's up to Robin Hood and the Power Rangers to stop the evil man with the power of hope. Cue the theme song. Yeah, the show just got cartoonish, but unlike The Flash, Arrow lacks that level of self-awareness. The Flash is aware that it is essentially a superhero Saturday morning cartoon show. Arrow is not. Your main hero is already named Green Arrow. If you're familiar with Justice League, Young Justice, or Injustice Gods Among Us, Oliver Queen is among the few comic relief characters in there. To turn someone like that into this is pretty fucking extreme. So Arrow, either you go full cartoon or you're not. You can't do both at the same time, or else people won't take you seriously. This is a huge problem that I noticed in Arrow. The writing of the show is 90% fan fiction level. It explains why there are so many scenes dedicated to Oliver Felicity, and a hell of a lot less scenes focusing on the superhero stuff. Now, I love myself some good love story in a superhero show, and I love character relationship as well, but this love story is just poorly fucking written. The reason why they're poorly written, and the reason why the bad format is further damaging this entire show, is that every single scene follows a very noticeable pattern. Character has a problem that they don't want to talk about. The other character asks if the character has a problem. Character refuses to talk about said problem until the end. Character gives a huge speech that somehow resolves the problem. Repeat. It's almost like every character in this show are swayed by cliched writing. And it happens constantly. It gets real tiresome. It makes the characters do not grow up. The other reason why the writing is bad is that despite the show having a major focus on both Oliver and Felicity, I ended up caring for neither of them. If a show has good writing, I should at least feel sympathy or emotion towards the two main characters, but I don't feel any sympathy to them. This is an ongoing curse and error that applies if these writers are being employed. If you have a major screen time, your character will always be the least likable. Laurel and Felicity are great example of this. People hated Laurel in season 1, season 2, but is somehow more forgiving of her in season 3, season 4. Conversely, people loved Felicity in season 1, season 2, and hated her in season 3, season 4. Guess why they're hated? You can see that Laurel has lesser and lesser screen time, and Felicity has a lot more, but there's always factors other than that, and that being, Laurel actually develops into a badass. Felicity not only stays the same character, but she becomes even whinier and whinier as time went on. When characters progress in Arrow, they become really likable, and to be perfectly honest, there are only 3 characters whose progressions make them an infinitely more likable character. Laurel, Roy Harper, and Thea Queen. They all have significant progress, and they become really likable. Oliver stays the same. Diggle stays the same. Felicity stays the same. Detective Lance is a fucking roller coaster. In fact, his role becomes significantly less and less relevant. In conclusion, the major mistake that the writers make on this show is that they don't give a fuck to any other characters other than Oliver and Felicity, the 2 least likable characters on the entire show. Stop focusing on them, for God's sake. Make the other characters relevant to discussion as well. Or how about actually make Oliver and Felicity to be at least a little bit more likable so that we don't have to endure their painful, sappy drama. The good stuff, well, at least they keep the stunt works practical. At least they keep most of its fight scenes in camera. They're badly choreographed, but it's better than nothing. And to be perfectly honest, I think Thea Queen is a nice replacement for Roy Harper as Speedy. It sucks that Roy is completely out of the show, but she's decent as Speedy, and she does give in quite the lighthearted jokes in a lot of places when the characters are being completely dark and serious. Although I would prefer if she's called Speedy instead of Red Arrow, because Red Arrow is the kind of name that only emo boy bands take. Did I hate Arrow Season 4? Well, not as much as I expected. However, I would definitely not recommend this particular season to anyone at all. Avoid Arrow Season 4 like plague. If you're interested in watching the show, just watch all the way until Season 2. Do your best to ignore the rest. Damn it, there's the rabid DC fanboys. Give me a minute.